बेटे एक काम बस कर दो जो लगाए तुझे बस वो लगाई दियो दिमाग से टीको चलो ना फिर हेलो एवरीवन हेलो स्टूडेंट्स इज माय वॉइस विजिबल सॉरी ऑडिबल Hello students, am I audible to you all? Please comment so that I can start this session. So students, let's start this session. Hello and welcome to Study Topians YouTube channel. Here you can get all the study materials related to your board. So let's get it started. So students, as you know, we are starting with Python Pandas and we will be covering series explanation. Uh, you must be well aware of the term Pandas, not that one, but Pandas, that is a library of Python which is used for data analytics. So basically we know it as, it is the full form of panel data system. So we get here the full form of Python Pandas. So as you know that it it should be installed in your environment wherever you are using it. So the syntax for the same is, students, let's see syntax here. The syntax to import is import pandas as pd. So this is the syntax used to import pandas. So use it. uh, students, I'm using Jupyter notebook. You can use any of the environment, or ideally which you prefer. So here I just run it. It's running. For where we should wait a second. Okay, so here our Python pandas is imported. We can use it for various topics. First of all, you must know what the it is used for. It is used for st- only storing data and accessing it. You create data by simple Python queries and store it in Python pandas. Here Python pandas provides us two data structures that basically we have to study our series and data frame. In this video we will be covering series. So students, let's start the video. Series is first one dimensional data structure of Python pandas. It is a 1D data structure. This means you get all the information stored in single column with indexes to access them. So first of all we must know about the series. Series is 1D dimensional Python data structure. It can be homogeneous. All the element must be of same data in a series object. You can only store one type of data in a series. For basic, we start with an example here. First of all, we create a variable and assign it as pd dot series. It is a syntax to access the series function of Python pandas. So here for simple you must have a list in it. Simple list we use 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. So you get it. If I print it as 1, see I get a single column here, and these are 0 1 2 3 4 are the indexes to access them. Yes, we can change them. We will be looking it further. For basically it also gives you data type int 64, which is int 64, which means integer data type is stored and 64-bit of your computer storage. So we start by creating it. We can create it by various methods. First of all, we can create series by Python sequence list. You can create by list, that is which we have created in the third place. You can see here we have taken a variable name s1 and assigned pd.series, and in parenthesis we have put square bracket, which means it is a list. Square bracket means it is a list. In list we have put same type of data. You can see here. You can also increase the data. Let's run this code. You can see here 5 and 6 indexes hold 33 and 43 respectively. This is the first way to create series, and second way by numpy functions. By numpy functions you can also create series object. You can see, first of all, we can use a range function of numpy to do that. So here we have to import numpy. It is also a library of Python. We have given alias np. Okay, we run it. Okay, so for a range function, take any variable to store np dot a range function we are using here. So a range function, you give some starting 12 to 23 and we enter here true. So let's see what happens here. As 2 is printed, it gives us simple array because we have not put it in the series structure. So for series, pd dot series, s of series should be also always capital. S, change here name to v and run it and print it. As you can see, we get the same series. Like this you can use a range function. A range function is just like the range function which we have used earlier in Python queries. You can see here we have started from 12 and till 23 and 2 steps, yani every 2 step it will print, and last number is excluded, as you know, is a part of range. So we have covered it, and we can use other ways such as linspace function of numpy. Linspace function we can use here, pd dot series, pd dot series, and we can use data as np dot linspace, and in square bracket, sorry, in parenthesis we write the first one, that is 24, and till 64, and in 5 parts we get here. So we print here ls here. You can see here this function does what, it only breaks down your data in the parts you mentioned here. So as you can see, I have given 24 to 64, and I want in 5 parts. You can see here we can change the data as well, like 100,000. If we run it, you can see it breaks down in equal parts. You can see here 24 to 264, 264 to 512, 512 to 756, and 1000. This is the linspace function of numpy, which we can use to create series. And another function is tile function. Tile function we can use here by pd dot series np dot tile true from 2 and 5. We want to print it 5 times. Now when we run the program, you can see here it prints this value in the square brackets 5 times. As you can see, it is printed 2 comma 5 times from 0 to 9 indexes. You can change here as well. You can use this one. This also gets printed. Now another function we can use. First of all, are you clear about that? np.tile. np.tile is just a numpy function which is used to repeat the data given in square brackets and comma times you enter you want. So this is the function. Now another function which we can use for creation of series object. Now first of all, we created by Python sequence and numpy functions. We can create it by Python dictionaries. You are familiar about them. Let's create a simple dictionary here. The simple dictionary stores the name of the students, let's suppose A, and its value is 2, and B, its value is 5. Sorry, I must use colon here. So, and we can use C, which stores the value 56. So if we convert it into series, let's see what happens. pd dot series is 2. That's the name of the dictionary. Let's run it. It just prints the dictionary because we have printed asked it to print is2, which is dictionary. Its dictionary is simply a key value pair. Its key and its value. Keys can be used to access the values for such in dictionaries, and in series you can use indexes. Now when we do the same and run it, now we get indexes and values series. So you can see here the indexes are not 0 1 2 3 which are default, but they are changed to A, B, C, which are keys of our dictionary. So that's very important point. The keys of the dictionary become indexes of the series when used in series function of of Python pandas. So you can see here int 64-bit. Now another way of creating the same is through other parts like a scalar value. A scalar value is very important for you to understand. Scalar value, as you are familiar about that, is it's a single value. So if we want to create a scalar value, we can use it as pd dot series and let's suppose the data is 10 and we want indexes as 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7. We want 7 values for it. If we print wb, as you can see, the scalar value is gets printed for every index and int 64. Now you can easily create by scalar value. Scalar value means one value is here 10, which can be used to create series data structure of Python pandas. So here we use series function. Now modifying indexes, that's very important part. Modifying indexes, we can simply modify index of series object as we can use s20 s2 series. S2 series is this one series. So here S2 we use simply after parenthesis and data comma, we can write index equal, in square brackets you write all the indexes like 0 1 to 5, yani 6 indexes you get. So for 6 indexes you can write it as a comma b comma c comma d comma e comma f. You get 6 here. Now if we try to run this sort of code, we get here modified indexes which are a comma b comma c comma d e and f. You can simply do modify the indexes here. Let's copy this here and print, simply paste it here. So if I run here, we get the same result. Here is how you can modify indexes of your series object. That's easier part of it which can be used. So next part is adding nan values or none values. There are two major ways to create or add nan values. So first of all, we can add it simply by numpy function. So first of all, we create a simple series like pd dot series. In this, we can use a list as 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and in this list we can add np dot np dot nan nan. So here it gets nan value. Now if we try to print this sort of simple code, we get nan value. As you can see here, it's printed nan. Another way of doing so is, let's copy this and print push it here. So simply you can do it without any function. You can write simply as none, which also gets the same result. Let's run this sort of code. Yes, you can see nan is added to the series. So this is the part which we can use to add nan values. Nan values here we can use by two different ways. np.nan, this function of numpy, and none, which is simple 4 line word, 4 letter word, sorry. So students, today we have learned to learned about Python pandas. As you know, Python is a library of pandas is a library of Python, which I have discussed. Its full form, panel data system, its syntax, how to import it, and its creation by list we created by using pd.series. And in series, you always remember the S is capital. It also prints D type along with it. Then we used some numpy functions, which are very important for you to remember them. These are a range function, first of all, which is used like range function, which gives you a sort of range. And then linspace function of numpy, which divides the data given by you in given parts. And then tile function, which repeatedly prints the same code in square brackets that you have mentioned. So for this, you get various functions to do that. So these are the simple one: arrange, linspace, and tile function, which you must remember them. So next one is we created using dictionary. Dictionary is simply a key value pair which can be used to store your data. We converted it into series which gets the modified indexes like A, B, C. We then used scalar value as our data, and many indexes, which also gives you the same result. That's the series with same values. Now we learned how to modify indexes. We just changed by using index equal, and then in square bracket we gave the modified new indexes. Then we learned how to add nan values in our series. Adding nan values is a bit of easy. So we used numpy function np.nan. That's very important function that you must remember along with the threes. Then in another way we can use nan value is by just simply writing none. That also gives you the same nan value. Now moving further, we shall use so we can also change the data type of the given series. Like this series you can see here, we can just put here d type equal float 64. It's 64 bit system, float 64. For 32 you simply write float. So we can use here by changing its data type. So we can see here we have used np dot float, so it's changed the data type. So changing the data type is bit easy, and this can be done by numpy functions. The data type is simply the type of data in which we enter in the series. The series gets homogeneous type of data, so it gives the float 64 for all. So if we try to change here float 64 to int 64, so let's see what happens. It gets changed to integer data type. So this is very easy. So we have learned the 5 numpy functions. First one is arrange, then line space, and then tiles, and np.nan for adding nan values, and int int or data d type for changing the data type, np dot the data type which you use, and the 64 or 32 bit of your computer system. So that's all for today's live session. In next live session we will be covering the attributes and data frame starting portion. So thank you all for joining this session. So if we can stop here.